I am pleasantly surprised at how good this movie is. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. I had no interest in watching this movie. Because a lot of anime out there, frankly, is just not good. As you know, I am a Christian. I am a fan of Miyazaki's talent, but I haven't seen a lot of his movies. I've seen some of his movies, but a lot of anime out there has some very dark spiritual things in it that run contrary to Christian values. And when I see the words witch and anime together, my brain automatically tunes out. Even though this movie really isn't about witches per se. Now, the main character is a witch, but this is simply a storytelling thing. If she was a fairy or a superhero or an alien or an angel, the story would be exactly the same. It's about adjusting to new environments. She's from a line of witches. She's from a clan of witches in a small country town, and she has to go to live among humans. That's what she's supposed to do. It's part of the rite of passage to become an adult. When a young witch turns 13, she has to go live among human beings. Now, although the main character is a witch, we never see her doing anything witchy except for flying. She never casts any hexes on anyone or anything like that. The whole witch imagery is only used to explain why she has this ability to fly in the first place. It's about a girl with an extraordinary talent, and this talent to fly helps her to start a business. She starts a delivery service, and she helps people. But she works so hard that she loses her magic, the very reason she started doing what she's doing in the first place. And then she feels like a failure. She feels worthless and useless. But then she meets an artist who tells her that even I go through periods when I can't paint, when I have no inspiration. The lesson of the movie is, during times like this, when you feel worthless, when you feel that your skills are not what they should be, and that you've lost all inspiration, during times like this, don't be hard on yourself. Just relax, take it easy, enjoy life, and what you think you've lost completely will come back to you. That is what this movie is about. It is not about witches. It is not about witchcraft. It is not making evil look innocent. It is simply an innocent movie. It is one of the most wholesome and sweet and family-friendly films there is. And I found this article from 1998. It's written by the Concerned Women for America. They do not understand this movie at all. They didn't watch it. They just saw that there was a witch in it, and they freaked out. I bet you those same women wouldn't freak out about The Wizard of Oz just because it has witches in it. It has an evil witch and a good witch. And witches are not good. But this is a fictional story, and it uses the witch character archetypes to tell a story to make a point. And the point is not witchcraft is good. The point is something else. And this movie is no different. The only difference is it's not American. That's the difference. They don't trust anything out of Japan because it's not a Christian nation. This movie is not about witches. It is not about witchcraft. It is about human potential and creativity. It is about artists, really. It is about using your own creative skills that God gave you. In fact, in the movie, they talk about God giving people talents. This is not present in the English version. Contrary to what this group says, this movie is not teaching children witchcraft. It is not teaching divination. The magic in this movie is a fantastical metaphor for real human potential, for real human talent. It is nothing like some of those other movies about witches, which I will not mention. But there were many back in the day that were, especially around the time this movie came out, that were feminist movies or whatever. They were made to be pro-women, rah, 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 but they were all about Wicca and witchcraft. Movies that unironically embrace the dark and evil and the closer to reality of what witchcraft is. That's why I didn't watch this movie for the longest time, because I assumed it was about a little girl who ran away from her parents to become a witch. Yeah, I didn't even look up what it was about. I just assumed that's what it was about, because that's the kind of thing that would have been popular in those days. But that's not what the movie's about. In fact, the movie's the other way around. It's about a little girl from a family of witches. That's what their nature is. It's what their species is. And she has to go. It's her duty. They send her to live among humans. And her parents are fully supportive and they love her. This is not like Disney movies. A lot of Disney movies, the parents are portrayed as idiots, as complete idiots and tyrants. Because Hollywood is run by people who hate family. And they hate what God has made. One of the few Disney shows I've found with a positive portrayal of parents is Kim Possible. And that shocked me too, because I didn't watch that when it was out. I didn't watch that until recently, because I assumed it was just as dumb. But no, it's the opposite. A lot of Western family movies portray parents as out of touch or stupid. And the other thing they do is they are very black and white about good and evil. I'm not talking about right and wrong. I'm talking about heroes and villains. A lot of Western family movies are just toned down action movies where you have the heroes and the villains. But this movie doesn't have much action, and it doesn't have any villains. There's only one villain in the movie, and it is despair. Because the real struggle is the one within the human heart. But Western family films encourage children to find someone to blame. All my personal problems are caused by somebody who wronged me. I'm a victim. But that's not what this movie's about. It's about overcoming hardships. Your own problems are your own villains. And the ultimate source of these problems is the enemy. Not to say that he made you do it, but he is the ultimate source of pain and suffering and wickedness. Now, I'm not saying that I hate action movies. Nothing like a good action movie. But I feel some of these movies, including the family films, inadvertently teach children to go beat up their neighbor just because they wronged them.